this is the type of thing you do well, create a depth of feeling into a character like Carl. What is your process with character creation, and what point from getting to the script to the actual performance do you consider the most important part of finding who that person is?
I feel it's I think of it all as entry points, and it's like there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like, there's like the wish fulfillment side of me. Like there's the qualities I like about myself that I want to like put into this person. And it's just like sometimes there's another quality that like you feel the real connection for, and you're like, that's actually where we connect, and that will get me to all the other ones that I like, that I want to put, or whatever. But I think to me it's like honesty and finding the honest entry point, which is like at the heart or core of a human.
Now, Carl is somewhat of a mysterious figure. He doesn't claim to be part of any government. He has a persona of the ultimate protector. What backstory, if any, did you envision for him, and what ingredient of that backstory you think defines him, speaking of entry points?
I think the cool thing was working with Chris and Phil. They really hands-on, because we had conversations about it where I was just like, yeah, so who is he? Like, I get you can build a character, but logically and logistically in this world, who is he? And they were just like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Where it's like this ominous government figure, but it's more like he works closely with Strauss. He's like Strauss's like right hand. So I think that gave me like the information that you need, where you're like, okay, I understand. It's like this is a protector. He is like a secret service to her essentially. I know that kind of person that exists in the world, Like I have friends who like do that and stuff, and then you start thinking about like that gives you more of a perspective. Like, okay, I know that kind of guy. I know how they are. They're like very observant and like they were like a little firecracker. They were all heart when they were kids, and then they had a growth spurt, and so they have a cloak that allows you to think that there's something else. But 5 minutes talking to them, it like comes down because they are observing everything.
That's brilliant, man. So one of the more joyful scenes in the film is when you and Ryan went to the Home Depot-like store. Why do you believe that that playfulness was important for the film to that point? And how did you, Ryan, and the directors improvise or set up that scene?
I take no credit, and I credit like Chris, Ryan, and Phil, because they had been on the movie for so long. Because we shot all of those things like with all the other actors after they'd done all the space stuff.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I think they knew what they had, and they knew what they were feeling, and so I came aboard. I think it's like, and I think much of filmmaking is just alchemy. So they was just like, okay, this piece, and it's the magic of in the moment being like, and those guys, all three of those guys are like improv wizards, where they're like good, they love it, they embrace it. So I think it was just like bouncing things and being like, yeah, like we love this, we're going to chase this feeling, and then we'll find a place for it in this thing, which I think they were just gathering like colors. If it's a wheel of colors, they're just like, oh yeah, this is a nice green. Let's see if it makes sense in the wheelhouse when we're done.
Nice. So both this film and the TV series you do have a large ensemble cast. When your character is interacting with a number of characters, how do you determine his importance in the scene? And how does it affect how you approach your performance?
I think when you're hired as an actor, your job is to think of your character as the most important, and let the filmmakers like put him in his place. So even if it is for one line, if you think about him with like take it like the fullness of the main character, you're like helping them have a bunch of full three-dimensional characters to exist in a scene. But also like I do understand the logistics of like reading a script, knowing who's important in the scene and whatever. I just feel like it's my service and duty to like give you as much as I can to like play with when you guys are in the edit.
Since you have a unique approach to character, how do you prep for How did you prep for an audition in your early acting days, and when did your preparation techniques start to pay off for you?
I feel the preparation techniques start to pay off when you get nerves out the way, because I feel like most of it is like preparation, but then it's just stiff. But now I think what it turns into is like just finding a way to keep the stakes low. For me personally,
Sure.
what helps me, if I feel fluid and like rubber, I can like think and whatever. And before you like let the anxiousness and all these things turn you like rigid and just put you in this box where you're not thinking
Right.
and all those things. So it's just like, how can I just feel natural?
Wow, good one. You met your future collaborator, Tyler, the Creator, in high school. What was your connection like in those early days, and how did it lay the foundation for what your creative alliance would become?
I feel like that was the school I learned in. Like, he's a person who thinks no rules, everything's there. It's like everything's interchangeable. It's like think like water, and I feel like that's like, because that was the grounds that I came up in, and I responded and it spoke to me. I feel like that's always been my approach. So it really flourishes in when I meet other people who kind of approach and think like that. Like Chris Storr is a little bit like that, and as well as like these guys, Chris and Phil, the other Chris and Phil, like these people who just kind of like. The rules aren't. It's not about the rules. It's about like what makes sense, what feels like real in the room.
Good lessons to learn. The character on the TV series has a noble and quiet meditation about him. What do you admire most about Marcus, and how were you able to find that element within yourself?
I admire his curiosity the most, and it's like the curiosity and the passion. It's like finding, like you dream to find something that like you can get lost in, and you just want to spend all your time thinking about and like inching towards something. It's just like feels alive. It feels like a first love, and so I admire that he has that and he's found it. And he's like going down that path.
And how does it feel that he's now developing relationships outside of his profession that are kind of giving clues to who he is?
I think it's great because it's like, again, this is about making a full 3D human, and it's like you have these ideas that you love. It's like it's similar to like writing and these things where you have ideas that you love and you want to put in something, but stories first. It's the same thing. It's like there's things that you love and all these ideas that you want to express, but it's like character first. So it's like these other, you have to be willing to show the other facets that seem not as interesting to the particular story that you're telling, because it's all about making 3D and making like contradictions exist, ambivalence exists, all these things exist, because that's what the world is.
That's great. So as an ancillary benefit to that role, obviously you've studied desserts, you've gotten into that world a bit. So are you a type of person now, if you go out to eat, you're always going to order the dessert, and you're always going to think about, well, how would Marcus apply this?
It's always considered. I feel like for my health, it can't be always ordered. Then that's my plight.
It's always considered. Okay, finally, if you were in a situation where you found out that the planet had only 30 years to live, like the scenario in Project Hail Mary, what do you think your first thought would be, and then your first action?
My first real thought would be, damn.
Yeah, I know. Most people's first thought would be.
No, the first thought would be, I think, what's funny? I don't know. I think it's like...
it's impossible to know.
It's impossible to know. Now, I think the first action is, I think what I like to think is like, it just puts a magnifying glass on like what really matters, and you realize it's just the people like. That's what it is. It's like the people and things that you love. It's like you chase. Like, I want to see the people that I love, and then maybe some of the physical places that I love.
This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2026.